Alright, here we go. Basically 20 versus 20. Just even misses that 5th round, that one does. Alright, so we'll try to give you a little quick rundown of the difference between the CZ97B, I have the BD, which is just decocker, versus say your standard 1911. The 1911 I had to compare it with is this Kimber Aegis Elite Custom, which is, in my opinion, just a standard 1911. Though they bobtail the end. They give you some fiber optic sights on it, which help make it a little more accurate than something would say just the big white dots. The 97B is CZ's version of a, we'll say their 75 style gun in 45 ACP. There are a few subtle differences in my opinion. For example, they have a barrel bushing. There's also a recoil guide rod spring, recoil spring bushing in here. And then there's also a loaded chamber indicator, which this is my first CZ that's ever had one of those. I don't recall any other ones having that in my experience. As far as accuracy goes, if you went, I'd say they're pretty much neck and neck. If you look solely on the still image, you would think the gun's performance was pretty much identical. Though if you then watch the 20 shots I did, or 24 through this one, you would have noticed that my Kimber actually is quite a bit less reliable than the CZ was. I shot 50 rounds through each before those 20. I got maybe 2 mags through my Kimber where the 5th round didn't hang up. Whereas CZ shot like a CZ, no problems all day. This gun I just picked up yesterday actually. So it only has about 100 rounds through it now, the ones I put through it today. This Kimber I've had for going on a year now. It probably has going on 1,000 rounds through it. Today, I would say it probably performed the worst that it's performed. Though if I'm being honest, it's never performed 100% reliable in any range test that I've done with it, which is a shame for what it cost. I do say I wish my CZ had the fiber optic style sights, and I will probably put the Dawson sights on it, because this isn't, I'm sure it comes with the night sights that it does, because for people that might use it as a home defense gun or carry gun or whatever. But for me it's a target gun, so I'm going to put some target style sights on it, some nice sort of pinpoint red dot Dawson sights on it probably. This is what I think they call the newer style 97, which has the aluminum grips on it. It has a few more notches cut into the bushing instead of, I think the originals come with just 1 notch in it. I don't know if they came with that loaded chamber indicator or not, but it is certainly, I mean, it doesn't distract me, but just like, wow, okay, that's interesting. Other than that, you know, the CZ I think is the winner. I don't think even other 1911s that perform flawlessly, I don't know what they have that will top it, so to speak. I mean, better single action trigger, though I could probably convert this to single action only if I wanted to. For me, the draw is that you actually do get a single action, double action trigger, so you can carry it half cocked. As far as width, I think they are fairly close in width on the grip, because you do have single stack mags on both of them. You know, single action only trigger in the Kimber is probably a little nicer in terms of lower trigger pull, but the single action, double action trigger on the 97B is still pretty good. Though I will say the decocker version probably has a little stiffer trigger than what the safety version will have, because it has a couple extra springs in there. No safeties on this version, so if you don't get the safety version, there are 0 safeties on it. Your only safety is that, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, I would definitely buy the CZ over the Kimber in my opinion. Some of the 1911 fans will probably hate that, but I mean, the reality is something that works every single time is going to win, and it's still based on a Browning design, so yeah, close enough. So anyway, hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.